How they picking?
Dude, it worked last time. $12.87.20.
Not working. You're drafting, so you better pick.
How much time I got?
30 seconds.
All right, coming to you live. Little mock draft we got going on right here. I'm picking fourth.
With 14 seconds.
I'm definitely staying away from Zeke. I just don't know what's going on there. I'll go David Johnson.
Not a bad pick. Safe pick. And that sound means I'm on the clock. And I'm staying away from Elliott as well. And for Bell, I don't know, new offense. I really don't like the Jets to begin with. I mean, I know that it might be a little hype coming out of camp and all that, but
They
coming
don't
off,
have a very good offensive line.
yeah, coming off a year of not playing at all, you never know what you're gonna get.
Fresh legs though.
So, and you can see right behind him, you got a very great core of wide receivers. And since I'm picking fifth, I won't come back up to another 10 picks. I don't have the back-to-back picks or somewhere around the end or beginning. So I'm going to go with Hopkins. He's a baller. You know that. 99 catch on Madden. Should be 100. But I'm going to go ahead and draft him. And
So his catch rating is 99?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
he got them hands.
So I'm going to take him, and I'm going to wait a little bit and see what running.
Saquon, McCaffrey. That's the way it'll probably go. I mean, the top two is really Barkley and McCaffrey. They're getting the most workload. And then right after that is Kamara. He's just...
I mean, he's an all-around guy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of skills. So he's going to... No matter if he's splitting with Murray, he split with Ingram for a while, and he was still a top back. So 3 is about where he should go.
And speaking of Murray, don't sleep on him. He might go third, fourth round, just because a lot of receivers are probably going to fly off the board.
I
and
think that's a little high for me.
I said don't be surprised.
I got David Johnson. I think the Arizona, they were last in the league last year in offense. They had a terrible offensive line too. So what they did, they revamped that offensive line, and then they got Kyler Murray, who should move the sticks, and David Johnson should get a lot more goal line carries and red zone carries. So I think he's going to be a breakout candidate in 2019. So I like my first pick in David Johnson.
Melvin Gordon and Joe Mixon off the boards, which are great picks. I mean, if Melvin Gordon resigns, of course, it's a great pick. But I'm pretty sure
he demanded a trade.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. That's just
but
all
we
talk.
were pretty sure that Bell was going to resign last year too.
Yeah, Travis Kelce just went second round. You think that's? I think that's probably.
I like that.
I probably would go that high on him too, because Mahomes loves throwing it to him.
Yeah, like. What's the chances that Kelce has a bad year with Mahomes at quarterback? He's his favorite target, and that's the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, right now. So I like Kelce right there.
If you were next, what would you take on this board right now?
Oh, Michael Thomas all day. He shouldn't even be on the board.
I'm very surprised he slipped that far, to be honest. And if he's on,
arguably my top wide receiver.
If he's on there, I'll probably take him back to back, and that'll give me Hopkins and Thomas, which is a solid receiving core, and I can just work on my running backs from there and take a QB whenever I feel like it, if I need to. I'm not real high on taking quarterbacks on. Yeah, I'm not high on taking quarterbacks in early rounds. Yeah. You can always find one, And chances are the best quarterback in the NFL is not the number one fantasy quarterback. Y'all gonna have to remember that. Tom Brady's the GOAT, but he's terrible in fantasy
Yeah.
pretty much.
Well, he was like he is the GOAT, but he's definitely on the decline. They ran the ball a ton last year.
And
Derek Thomas.
now I'm on the board and they just took Thomas.
Sniped.
So from here you got Beckham, new quarterback, new system. Right alongside Jarvis. Kind of iffy. I think the ball's going to be spread around a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get his targets. But look right behind him in Smith-Schuster, who is now the number one guy for Big Ben. I mean, it's pretty nice to have alongside.
But it's hard to tell with him because he was getting a lot of numbers because the number one cornerback was on Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if he could step into that number one role.
That is a very good.
That's still unknown.
I mean, and then behind him is the running back that's going to get the workload for the Steelers.
Yeah.
So he proved that he's a third, 3-down back last year. So
yeah, the Steelers usually ride with one guy, and it looks like Connor's the guy. They don't really split carries with running backs.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about Antonio Brown right now. We all know that he might not even play, so I'm not even going to worry about picking him. But I'm gonna take Connor right here and get a running back, a high graded running back right here.
All right.
And it just so happened me and Josh go back to back.
I'm split between Odell Beckham and Mike Evans.
See, Mike Evans always gives you them big points.
Evans is consistent.
He is consistent. I thought about him too, but
and then Bruce Arians is the new offensive coordinator over there, and he loves to throw it deep. And Mike Evans is one of the best guys streaking that sideline in the league.
But hold on. Deshaun Jackson is gone. You don't have another deep threat. So now you can double Mike, and you still have Jameis Winston throwing a ball who throws a pick at least once a game.
Yeah, but Jameis Winston throwing picks don't matter with Mike Evans.
It
helps Mike Evans because they get down and then they just got to throw the rest of the game.
Exactly. So I feel like he's going to be forcing a lot of targets to him, which says
forcing the ball. If he's on my team, force Evans the ball.
So you going to take him? I wonder how far Antonio Brown. I mean, it is a mock draft and everything, but this is supposed to be for your fantasy to get you ready, and I don't see why you would take Antonio Brown anytime soon, unless you have the inside scoop that he's going to play.
You know what? Just to speak on Antonio Brown a little bit, how do you not feel your foot getting cold? Like he's got frostbite. You don't feel your foot like getting to the point where you're about to lose it? Like, bro, that's like trying to hike Mount Everest barefoot. What are you doing, Brown?
Are you back on the clock already? That went pretty fast.
And the guy I was hoping that would still be there is there. My boy Leonard Fournette. They signed Nick Foles, so I think that offense is going to be moving the ball a lot more. And if this guy can stay healthy, he's a running back one. So I'm going to draft him on the hope that he can stay healthy, because if he does, with him and David Johnson, I got the best running back core in the draft right here.
And a good thing to look later on in the draft when you draft Fournette is to handcuff him, because he is injury prone. So might as well handcuff him towards the lower rounds if nobody's looking at that.
Doubt.
So I'm pretty sure Josh did that last year, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Was that you?
No, I actually made that mistake with Kareem Hunt. I didn't
that's
draft
what
his
it was.
backup.
Yeah.
But how would I know Kareem Hunt was just going to destroy some
Well,
chick?
now I'm on the board, and Ty is the first best pick, but Andrew Luck has calf issues, and they're saying the Colts are downgrading that. So who knows if Andrew Luck's going to be throwing Ty the ball? We all know his stats drop when Luck's not in there.
I don't think I'm too worried about Luck. I think they're just being precautionary. They don't want him in preseason. And he didn't play preseason last year, and he had a great year. And Ty is his favorite target.
It is. And
I
then
do like Kerryon Johnson right there too. If you were to need a running back, they're gonna ride him. He's a workhorse. And then they got two really good tight ends sitting right there too.
Yeah, I feel like I just might take Zach Ertz, cause that's
a safe pick.
That is a number one target for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
I'm on 8 seconds now, but we're gonna take Zach Ertz.
That's a good pick. Because the tight end position is not deep at all. So if you really don't get Ertz, Kittle, Kelsey,
or possibly Cook, depending on how
well,
him and
yeah,
Drew are
but you
looking
can
this
get
year.
him late. That's kind
Yeah,
of
but that's out of 10
yeah.
people.
That's the reason I've been waiting on tight end. They got a little a stretch in a few rounds coming up that you're gonna be able to grab, like, let's say Jared Cook or like David Njoku. See who else is kind of in that group.
When Luck's in there,
OJ Howard and Hunter Henry.
Eric Ebron, when Luck's in there, loves to throw him goal line touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think he had like two or three games with multiple touchdowns.
Look, every time Drew Brees has a good tight end, he's a beast too.
Oh yeah.
Even when we had Ben Watson, he was a fantasy guy, you know?
Yeah, he was.
And so Jared Cook, possibly Drew Brees' best tight end he ever had.
But he made Jimmy Graham.
To get him at his ADP is 84, that's a steal. And that's who I'm eyeing right now. I'm going to wait.
But now we're getting into the 4th round after this pick. And this is where you start finding the diamonds in the roughs. I'm going to take a chance on this guy as a starter, and he might, like a Kareem Hunt, like he did last year.
Kareem Hunt. I took Kareem Hunt the first round last year.
Did you?
Yeah. These are the rounds where I say take a chance. Take a chance on an unproven player or a rookie that you just got a feeling that they're going to, go off.
Contract players.
That's another thing. Contract players that are trying to go get that money, they're going to play harder. And then when they get them knick-knack injuries, they're not going to sit out. They're going to play through it so that they can have a monster year and be waiting for that big contract. And another thing, like you had said earlier, handcuff. If you drafted a high running back
that's injury
and
prone,
they got a really good backup, go get that backup.
Like for instance, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman ain't there no more.
But I'm saying last year in a couple years, that was great handcuff backs because Tevin Coleman sometimes was a flex player.
Yeah.
And he could
carry
really
that load. I
load.
like Gurley's backup. He's a rookie, and this guy, he's explosive.
I have a risky pick coming up that I'm gonna take a chance on a rookie if he's still there.
Yeah, Darrell Henderson's the name that I was thinking of. He's backing up Gurley. You just don't know about his knee, and this guy's been getting a lot of praise in training camp so far. So especially if you were to pick Gurley, that risky pick in the either late first or early second is where Gurley's probably gonna come off. You definitely need to keep an eye on Darrell Henderson.
Now I know they have a lot of, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a workload, just like Connor was last year for Steelers.
Yeah.
So that's who I'm eyeing right now. If he falls to me, that's the play I'm gonna take a risk on, and then start going from there.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
So he's there. I said I'm taking him. No doubt about it. I'm taking him.
And I'm up on the clock. I definitely like to go running back heavy. I need a guy to put in my flex, and I really like Aaron Jones.
Good pick.
This dude is one of the most talented backs in the league, and he's gonna be on one of the best offenses in the league. So I like Aaron Jones. I'm gonna pick Aaron Jones. Slide him in my flex, and I got a stable of running backs here.
Yeah, let me just give you an update on my picks so far. I got Connor from the Steelers, running back. Jacobs from Oakland Raiders, running back. Hopkins, wide receiver from Houston, and Ertz, tight end from Philly. I need a quarterback, another wide receiver, and a great flex, and then we'll start working from there.
Yeah, nobody cares about your picks. I'm on the clock.
You're not on the clock.
Yes, I am.
How are you on the clock so fast?
Because I got some auto picks. This is a mock draft.
Oh.
Patrick Mahomes really sticking out. I do like the weight on quarterback, but when I can get a value like this, and nobody else is really popping to me right here, I might just go get the best quarterback in the league. Yeah. That way, I got a quarterback I can play every week, no matter who they play, except for the bye week.
Now I need another wide receiver.
What'd you think about Mark Ingram?
I feel like he's gonna fall off, to be honest.
They do have a great offensive line, and that's it.
Yeah, but they have a running quarterback, and
Yeah, but they could run the read option.
Mark Ingram's too slow for that. For the read option, he's a polished downhill back. He's gonna go left and read it,
with an offensive
then make a
line
move?
like they got.
I don't.
When you run the read option, you got the numbers because you letting the quarterback read one guy. So no matter what, you got more offensive linemen than you got defensive linemen. So if you do create a hole for Mark Ingram, he can bust the hole.
a hole, but read option. You think he's gonna take the
you
ball,
do-
then
you do
break
need-
somebody's
You
ankle?
do need good vision.
So Tyler Lockett is the number one guy at Seattle now, and he shows promise.
Yeah, he's the number one guy, no doubt. Russell Wilson's a beast.
And I definitely need another wide receiver. Alshon Jeffrey sticks out, but I have Ertz already. And you don't want to really handcuff a wide receiver and tight end on a team that's high-powered like that with Deshaun Jackson now.
I did it last year. I had Kelsey. And,
You had it on the number one team as Kansas City Chiefs that put up like 63 points in a game. So, therefore, I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett.
That's a safe pick.
I mean, how often does that happen that you take the QB, wide receiver, and tight end? And didn't you have Kareem Hunt to run it? So he had every aspect of that team on his fantasy and started them.
That's because I'm a fantasy guru. I'm a better version of Matthew Berry. Matthew Berry ain't got nothing on me.
Let's not get big-headed now.
ESPN. I should be on ESPN.
I think you need to take a walk.
But really, I don't want to be on ESPN. ESPN's mainstream. This is underground fantasy knowledge right here. This is where you get the real information.
Anyways, back to the real world.
No, we're still in fantasy world.
How often would that happen? I mean, you really can't do that on Philadelphia's team.
You can do it again this year if you want.
Yeah, that
get
team
the Chiefs
maybe.
Again, I advise on doing that.
With their running back now?
Yes. Here's a stat for you. In 20 years of Andy Reid coaching, 12 out of the 20 years, he's had a top 5 back. And this guy, the back they got now, is pretty good.
I think it's Williams.
Yeah.
One of the Williams.
I don't know if he's still. Is he still?
I think he's stuck. He's stuck.
No, I think they took him.
Yeah, he was definitely going way before that.
Yeah, he's gone. He's a beast. I think his name's Damian Williams.
I think it is Damian Williams.
And he's explosive and he's faster than Hunt. And that Chiefs team got a lot of speed. Another kind of under the radar guy that the Chiefs got in the draft that has a lot of speed, and I think you can get him late with some fantasy upside. His name's McCole Hardman. The guy runs 4.33, and you're going to be able to put him on the other side of Tyreek Hill. And they already calling him the Legion of Flash right now. And Andy Reid is one of the best offensive minds in football, along with Sean Payton, and he knows how to get players with that kind of skill set the ball. So he's a guy you could probably get towards the end of drafts that has a lot of upside.
Yeah. Being in the 6th round right now, that's what we're in, 6th round. This is kind of like flex opportunity, defense even. If you can get the number 1 defense, top 3 defense in fantasy, it's really it's really like another solid wide receiver flex player for you. Because if your defense can put up 10 plus points, that's a hell of an advantage against teams that you're playing against. So
yeah, the only thing with that, it's just so you just don't know who's gonna be that team. Like 2 years ago, it was the Jaguars. What did the Jaguars defense do last year? They did nothing. Then last year, it was the Bears. Who knows? They might fall. They actually have a new defensive coordinator. They have a new defensive coordinator in Chicago. So, I mean, that defense could drop off. And then 3 years before that, it was the Houston Texans. Houston Texans the year after that, it's like you give an offensive coordinators a whole year to scout that defense, and they find ways to beat them. So, I don't know. In my just opinion, I'd wait on defense.
Well, I'm on the clock now, and I don't care what you say.
So go ahead and pick a defense right here.
Well, I'm actually not because Tariq Cohen is still on the board, and that is flex heaven right there, pretty much, along with Philip Lindsay. Darius Geis is on there, but who knows what he's gonna do?
Yeah, he was hurt all last year, and then this year in training camp, they say he's kind of tweaked his hamstring. So that's definitely a gamble, but a lot of upside.
I mean, Lamar Miller's also on the board, but he's starting to get up there in age. I had him last year, and he started to break out, but y'all do know
I'm
it
not a
takes
Lamar Miller
it takes
fan.
him a little while to get going.
He's just a guy.
Wide receivers right now, you're starting to get at the bottom of the bunch, kind of where you can kind of find a person. But with Tariq Cohen being on the board right now,
Yeah,
it's kind
definitely,
of a no brainer.
I don't think that's a no-brainer. I would have went Philip Lindsay right there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And Philip Lindsay, I think, has the best handcuff in football, and that's Royce Freeman. But as long as Philip Lindsay is healthy, he's number one back. And that dude looks like he's on roids. He's small, but he can run you over, and he's super fast. He's really good. I might take him, but I do need a wide receiver. I only got one right here.
DJ Moore is available, and who does Carolina have to throw to?
Yeah, and what does Cam Newton's shoulder look like?
No telling, but who do they have to throw to besides DJ Moore? I mean, Greg Olson, he's like 38.
They got DJ Moore and they got Samuel too, and they don't really even. There's no like up front number one guy. It's kind of up for grabs with both of them.
If you take Christian McCaffrey, you pretty much have the Carolina Panthers offense. That's it. He's gonna catch it out the backfield. He's gonna run the routes. He's gonna get the handoffs. He's gonna get the screens. He's gonna do everything for that offense.
Who's popping out to me is Sammy Watkins. I mean, he's injury prone, but he's a part of that Chiefs offense.
Yeah, but there's so many mouths to feed. You think they're gonna?
You know what's a safe pick? Jarvis Landry.
Yes,
That's
I
a
was gonna
safe
say
pick.
that. You about to take away there,
I'm gonna go Jarvis.
Jarvis.
That's a safe pick, and the way my team's constructed, I could be safe because the points are coming from everywhere.
And he doesn't drop passes. We all
No.
know that he does not drop.
And he's not he's not the number one guy over there.
We all know
so-
slots get a lot of looks.
Yeah, and
especially when
Baker-
you're burning people.
Baker's looking like he has the potential to be an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's got the swagger, he's got the demeanor, the leadership abilities, and it seems like every other guy on that offense and team has bought into him. It's like, look, Baker, you're our leader. We're gonna go as far as you take us.
Yeah.
So, I think they got a potential to be kind of like that Chiefs offense last year. You go and get Njoku, go and get Jarvis, go get Chubb and get Baker, and you probably have a solid team.
And then later on in the year, Hunt does come back from suspension week 8. They have a bye week 9, I believe.
Yeah, so you ain't getting them until.
So
week
you're not
10.
week 10,
That's-
but he'll be healthy. And if you want to handcuff him when his suspension's starting to come back 2 or 3 weeks for Chubb to see what they do with him, he might be a
Yeah.
great playoff player
That's
for
tough
you.
For me. If you really got the rest of your team stacked, I'd
Yeah.
say yeah, go for it. If he's still there in the last pick or the last couple picks, I'd say yeah.
But speaking of Baker Mayfield, wouldn't be a bad QB to have on your bench in case he starts going off and the Browns start having a high-powered offense like everybody's starting to predict right now. So him and being on your bench and plugging in on great games,
I might
Probably
go
give you-
get here Phillip Rivers tight end.
Henry?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because
Let's-
Antonio Gates is officially
Let's-
retired, so he's not there.
Why wouldn't you go get Cook though, instead of Henry?
Because Drew Brees, he spreads it more, you know?
But I feel like Cook being he is a big body. I think he's 6'8". Big body in the red zone. You saw what he did with Benjamin Watson. And Benjamin Watson is, 10 years older than this guy?
Yeah.
So,
I'm just a little higher on Henry. I really am.
I hear you.
It's not much. You know what? Who else they got here? Calvin Ridley. I might go take a chance on Geis here. I ain't got
Geis?
nothing to lose. My back's already set. I'd advise doing this only if you have your good backs already. You can take a gamble on a player like Geis. I wouldn't advise if you need a running back relying on him, because he might not be there. He might get injured. They also have AP over there, and Chris Thompson's back from injury. But I, I'm in LSU country over here. I know what Geis can do, and I think Geis will have the number one back. Will be the number one back in Washington before the season. Before I'd say midway point of the season.
You know what? Getting close to a lot of these players being somewhat around each other fantasy point wise, and it's being a hard choice. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a defense right now. And to be honest, I'm gonna take the Rams, just because they have the number one player on the defensive line, and
Aaron Donald?
and he's so disruptive. So just by his presence, probably will help out the people behind him with picks and fumbles and everything. The Bears number one, then Jags,
I
Bills.
just feel like that's a reach.
So who would you take as
I
defense
wouldn't
number one?
take defense. There's no way I'm taking defense with this many skill players left. That's just my opinion. Because these players, you're gonna have players that go down, and you're gonna need depth.
Well, I took Lamar Miller.
See, I think I would have took Tevin Coleman right there.
Yeah, I thought about that,
He
but
fits their offense perfectly.
McKinnon's coming back, and I don't know what's going to happen with that.
McKinnon they shooting him up with shots already. Like, he missed all last year, and he's already having nagging injuries. I don't even think he's going to play much. And Tevin Coleman, with Shanahan's offense, he likes to throw it to the back, and he likes to use the back a lot, just like the Patriots use James White. They're built from this. That's the same offense. And Tevin Coleman fits that style perfectly. And there comes Tevin Coleman right off the board.
Now,
right after your
a
pick.
lot of these picks are auto, so I'm sure
Yeah, we're
some
gonna
of
be
these
picking quick.
yeah, a lot of these players probably wouldn't have been taken where they were, and there'd probably be different players available right now.
Well, really, the auto pick usually comes right off the top.
Yeah, it takes the next best player, but
Yeah.
if the next best player for the auto pick is a wide receiver and he already has 3 wide receivers, you wouldn't take another wide receiver without having a running back.
Yeah.
But we're doing our best right now. I'm looking all right.
Miles Sanders kind of pops off the page a little bit to me because Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, they have the number one ranked offensive line in football. He's a rookie, and he was pretty good in college. I'd say really good. I think he was at Penn State, if I'm not mistaken.
You know Jordan Howard's at Philly though, right?
Yeah, but I'm not a big Jordan Howard guy. I think he's just a guy, kind of like Lamar Miller, who you took with that last pick.
He's still the number one guy.
Yeah, he's number one, but he's not that good.
And they did just release Dante, is that his name?
Foreman?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably because they got an undrafted rookie that's gonna come in and take the league by storm.
Well, until he does
Like
that,
Philip
let
Lindsay
Lamar
did.
Miller
Well,
take over.
it's too late. You got him.
That's what I said. Let Lamar Miller go. I'll handcuff him.
Yeah, you could handcuff him.
And I have my eye on a wide receiver that I knew was gonna fall for a while and probably go under the radar. Cortland Sutton from Denver. If y'all watch Denver, you would actually see that they were trying to feed him the ball a lot, especially when they were trying to trade Demaryius Thomas. He was getting a lot of looks on the opposite side of Sanders. I'm sorry, Sanders.
I think Sanders is still the number one guy.
I think he is too, but I think he's getting up there a little bit,
Yeah.
and they're gonna try to get this young guy going and give him some looks. And he's a tall body, so who you gonna throw the jump ball to? Sanders or Sutton?
Sanders is a possession receiver.
So with not many wide receivers still left on the board, I mean Marvin Jones still up there.
Will Fuller.
He's
a good
so
deep
injured.
ball.
He's like he'll go
Yeah,
2 or
that's a
3
risk.
games,
That's a risky pick.
2 or 3 games, blow up the scoreboard, and then miss 5 with
Yeah.
some lingering injury. So I'm gonna take a reach right here and go with my man
Something
Sutton.
I don't advise.
What do you advise?
Well, I definitely don't advise reaching ever.
You just gave a whole take on reaching if
Yeah.
you're in the right position.
That wasn't a reach. That was actually a value pick. He should have been gone.
He should, but I'm like there is a lot of auto
That brings
picks
me
like
to
I'm
my number
saying.
one rule: draft by value, not by position. If every pick you can pick a guy with value, you're gonna be in a mix at the end of the year. And that brings me to, I'd say, a pretty good value pick, and that's Jared Cook.
Yeah,
I need a tight end.
he had his mouse on Corey Davis at first, and I was ready to grill him for that one. A value pick, Corey Davis.
Who's got his mouth on who? that came out a little wrong.
I said mouse.
Oh, mouse. Okay, I'm going Jared Cook. Not just because I'm a huge Saints fan, but because I think this dude's a beast. He had 1,000 yards receiving last year with
Yeah, and see these
Derek Carr, and now he's going to Drew Brees.
and now you're back on the clock because these auto picks just taking the next best thing. So, what's the next best?
Yeah, I need to go.
There's a lot of running backs on here.
Now's the time. Okay. Here's a gut feeling I got. Larry Fitzgerald. They say he's been rejuvenated by Cliff Kingsbury's new offense. He's got Kyler Murray. He's pretty accurate. And the guy can move around and wait for his receivers to get open. Larry Fitzgerald, he's got one of the best set of hands in the league. And he hasn't really been dropping off too much. Like, he's like an ageless wonder. And I'm going to go Larry Fitzgerald here. Give me some wide receiver depth.
Oh, sorry about that. Had to take a break. Back on the clock. And feeling like I'm going to go possibly quarterback right here.
Yeah, sorry, we got a full set of dogs that are like a bunch of pests. So
Let's see who's still up there for wide receiver. Samuel, Moncrief, MVS from the Packers.
yeah, you just
Now he kind of started to sprout a little bit last year, and then the Packers had that big old deal, and the offense just kind of flooded out towards
their
the
team
end.
as a whole was just bad last year.
Yeah, so he was starting to become
I
a
think
favorite.
he's got the talent to be the number 2, and
Yeah.
if he is the number 2 in that offense, he's gonna be a steal right there.
I mean, right before him at number 6 is the other wide receiver, Allison.
Yeah, I'd rather take a chance
So
on MVS.
yeah, I was gonna say
if you are
that's how they think these guys are. One of them's gonna be number 2. They don't know which one.
Know.
So we're gonna go with MVS. Pushing it on that time limit right there.
All right,
And now a couple auto picks coming up.
I'm gonna queue up a few guys. I like DK Metcalf. I like Funches. He's the new number 2 with Andrew Luck. Moncrief is the new number 2 with Big Ben. Michael Gallup actually seen a lot of work because a lot of the attention is going to Amari Cooper. But I'm not a big fan of Dak Prescott.
No. Did you see he turned down a $30 million?
This dude really wants to be paid like a top, 3 quarterback, which is laughable.
You know what? I have a starting tight end, and you can still use a tight end in our league as a flex.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with another tight end right here. And that's David Njoku. Njoku. I mean, like I said, I did say earlier the Browns have a lot of mouths to feed, but he is their number 1 tight end, and he is a big body.
Yeah. But
And like I said, he's going to be on my bench, just in case. I mean, you could go other players right here. I probably will go a different route right here, real quick. This is when it gets hard, when it gets down to the bottom. And you're figuring out your roster. I still have a QB. I still need a defense, a starting kicker, and I have 4 bench spots open. So, what to do? I feel I can still grab a QB later down in the road. So I'm going to go with a flex right here and Latavius Murray, running back. Because
that's a good pick.
I did talk about him earlier.
And he looked good in
In a
week 1 of
yeah.
preseason too.
So
I mean, that dude's huge for a running back.
and if
Big.
and if anything does happen to anybody's number one running back, it's always great to have a handcuff. And we know Sean Payton's offensive scheme requires two running backs, so he's going to get a lot of touches. So he could be also another flex, maybe a running back two some weeks, depending on if it's a easy team to run against.
You almost led me to one of my top rules, and that's don't draft another tight end if you drafted a top 5 tight end. So you almost broke one of my rules again.
Well, good thing is your rule and not mine, because I don't care about your rules.
Yeah, I see that, because we draft next to each other in my like real fantasy league, and this dude never listens to me, and that's why he's always like last in the league.
I came in third.
Yeah, and who beat you?
Barely. Barely. I won it in my other league. Suck my nuts.
Wow, that's not appropriate.
Hey, this is fantasy football. Anything's appropriate.
They have kids watching this, Bobby.
Nah, they still have they got a lot of running backs high up still. Like
I'm gonna go one more wide receiver, and then I'm gonna go running back after this. I'm gonna go Funches. Something's telling me
Funches?
Yeah,
From Indy, Funches.
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 I think he's big.
I just need a bag of Funches.
Yeah, don't mistake in the name. It's not all about the name. He's got talent. Now
Now what?
is the time I start thinking about defense. Jags defense got a lot of playmakers.
Who?
The Jaguars defense. I think they were even good last year, but their offense was so bad that they was always on the field and they'd be tired down. What running backs they got left before I do this? I do like Ronald Jones. I think he's gonna take that spot. I don't think Peyton Barber's gonna be the guy.
Jags last year put up double digits 5 times and put up a goose egg 2 times, 1 negative points, and 1, 2, 3, 4 points.
Yeah, because their offense
and I'm not
was
talking
always
about
turning the ball
I'm not talking
over
about 4
in
points.
midfield.
All right, so why would you take a defense that has a shitty offense
Because
that's going to constantly put them on the
Nick
field?
Foles now. They have Nick Foles.
All
This
right.
dude's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Who's Blake Bortles?
So take him.
That dude's on the trash can.
So take him.
I'm going to take Ronald Jones because I think he's going to take the number 1 spot over there. And I need another running back. But just letting you know, I got my eye on defense. And this is around round 12. This is about the time I'd say start looking at defense. Pick a couple of defenses you like.
I think I'm going to go QB here. There's a lot of good QBs on the board. So I'm going to take a good one and probably have another one on my bench later on, see who falls. You got Wentz, Prescott, Breeze, and Roethlisberger as the top 4 with Wilson right behind them.
See, I would advise you to go Wilson right here because your number 2 wide receiver is Lockett. Every time Lockett scores, you get a double dip.
Yeah, but
I'd say either him or is Wentz left.
Yeah, I was going to say, why wouldn't you go Wentz?
Ertz.
I was going to say, yeah,
I would narrow it down
Ertz.
to them two. That's what I would do if I was you.
And Wentz is still mobile back there, but he is injury prone. So that's why I would take another quarterback later on, and I'm gonna take Wentz. Then probably go defense next, and then look at a quarterback again, just to have another top tier. Because you do have Breeze, Roethlisberger, Wilson. They put Murray up there. I don't know how he's gonna be. Well, there goes Breeze. But Golf, Brady, Jackson. And then after that, it's like Trubisky, Winston, Rivers, Cousins. And
I don't know if I'd waste a roster spot on another quarterback. That's just me.
Well, it worked for me last year and the year before that.
That's why I beat you.
Well, how's your roster looking, JJ?
I think I'd probably, if this was a real league, you'd probably see me in a championship.
I don't think so.
Mahomes, David Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Jarvis Landry, Jared Cook, Aaron Jones, Geis, Fitzgerald, Funches, Jones. Ouch. That's a bad team right there. And when I say bad, I mean good.
I'm going to go ahead and go get a defense, and I'm going to take you Jags.
Wow. Wow, what a snipe.
I mean,
He heard me talking about him last round. Then he bashes me about thinking about taking him. Even brings up a whole stat sheet telling me why I shouldn't take him. And then the very next round, right before me, he takes him. That's dirty. That is dirty.
I'm really joking. I'm gonna take the Rams because I had my eyes on the Rams. So Rams it is.
Okay.
And my starters are Wentz, Connor, Jacobs, Hopkins, Lockett, Ertz, Cohen flex, and Rams defense. That's making a push right there, kid. It's making a push. And I do have some nice benches. Latavius Murray,
got more than
Lamar
one
Miller,
bench?
Cortland Sutton, and MVS. So
I like Deshaun Jackson.
I was thinking that too, because he's gonna be that deep threat, and Carson Wentz said he's the fastest guy he's ever played with. So that's already telling you he likes him just by saying that.
Well, it don't mean he likes him personally. It just means he thinks he's fast.
No, trust me.
Oh yeah,
Trust me.
Going out to the club every night together.
Oh yeah, it's Deshaun Jackson. He's bringing his QB everywhere.
No, I mean Deshaun Jackson's definitely in the club, but I don't know if he's taking Wentz with him.
Gotta bring Wentz with him, baby.
You don't have to do anything.
I'm about to put us on hold and beat your ass.
Okay, all that talk, and then yeah.
Who are you gonna take?
Let me just check what the defense is looking like.
Oh, look at that. The Jags
Wow,
are still there.
there.
Yeah, because I picked before you, dummy. We go back to back.
I might gamble and see if they're still there one more round. I'm gonna take Deshaun Jackson.
Well, in auto draft, they're gonna be there because they're not the next best thing up. But in a real draft, they're probably not there.
In a real draft, we draft with a bunch of, let's just be real about this, a bunch of idiots. So they'd probably be left too. Now,
one of our guys took a kicker in what, the fifth round? The fourth round. He was the best kicker. I won't lie. He was the best kicker that year. But
I do like Buffalo too. I think they're gonna be a surprise team this year, and that might take their defense along with it. I'm really big on Josh Allen. This dude, let's just say, I have a pretty crazy stat about Josh Allen. After week 12 of fantasy last year, he was the number 2 fantasy quarterback in the league behind Deshaun Watson. Who would have thought that? This dude was rushing for 100 yards every game. I think I'm picking the Bills. They got a lot of playmakers on defense.
So you won't go 2 tight ends, but you'll go 2 defenses?
I don't have 2 defenses.
Oh, you didn't pick it yet. I thought you
No.
picked Jags already.
No.
My bad. I was looking
I'm
at my
definitely
screen.
not going 2 defenses. I'm picking Bills. Just because if you don't kind of get a...
After all that
defense
bickering
here,
about the Jags.
They have a huge drop off.
Now here's where you just really start stockpiling. You got 4 roster spots left. 1's a kicker for me, if you don't go kicker early. So I got 3 benches, 1 kicker left. And to be honest, sometimes I don't even draft a kicker because I play kicker by
But
week.
you can't do that in mock drafts. They force you to take
Yeah,
it.
I know that. But I usually go week to week. Now that does mess up my my order.
That's just in case something happens from the time where we draft into week 1. You can always go pick up a kicker. Kicker's a freaking,
Now Golden Tate's still on the board, but he's from the Giants, and I don't know
what's real quarterback controversy over there.
Exactly, and I don't think
Daniel Jones looked pretty good in that preseason.
I think besides Saquon, I don't think you touch anybody over there, even Ingram, because who knows who's going to throw it, how they're going to throw it, if they're not going to try to incorporate Saquon more than anything.
Well, yeah, Saquon's definitely going to be a beast no matter what.
So, I already got 5 running backs. We're going to go ahead and go receiver here. Or let's see who's at QB
I do
still.
like DK Metcalf.
QB still. I like Jared Goff. He has a lot of weapons. So I'm going to go Jared Goff and have 2 QBs like I like.
2 quarterbacks, I'd say that's a mistake.
I'd say I don't care.
You should care.
I mean, if I don't have the
You
number
really
1
should care.
Patrick Mahomes, it's not a bad thing to have 2.
You're taking up a really valuable roster spot. You're going to start Wentz almost no matter what,
Not really. If Goff starts throwing like he was last year with Cooper Kupp coming back healthy, with him,
Is he going to come back healthy, though? That was
he
a
is
major
healthy.
injury.
He is healthy. Cooper Kupp's
Kinda
back.
takes 2 years to come
Robert
back from an
Woods,
injury.
Brandon Cooks, Gurley kind of got that injury, but he has a great handcuff running back. He still has a great offensive line
Damn, Metcalf.
and a defense that'll keep the ball back in his hands. So I feel like he's gonna have plenty of opportunities to score plenty of points for me.
Yeah, you would hope.
Jamison Crowder from the Jets. Now, if it's not Anderson from the Jets, I really don't think you mess with their wide receiver core.
I kind of like the other one.
Who?
I think it's like Inwanya. Somebody.
He's like here and there though. Like one day he's on the roster, the next day I don't see
He's been on
him.
the roster the whole time.
I'm talking about like playing wise.
Yeah, he got hurt last year. In Nunwa. That's it. I think he's better than Crowder. I wouldn't have took Crowder there, but that's not me.
I didn't take Crowder. Don't think that was me, guys.
This is the point where I kind of start really trying to hit a home run. And a home run guy that I see on the board, N'Keal Harry. The Patriots, I mean, he's like the only wide receiver they've ever taken in the first round. Like in Belichick history.
Well, thanks for the pointer. N'Keal Harry is on my roster.
Oh, wow, I got sniped. Oh, my God, this dude. Wow, that's dirty. That is so dirty.
Get it how you live. You want to keep bringing up you beat me. Snipe your players away, bro.
That just tells me that
No respect
I'm a
for
guru.
you. You're not a guru.
That's what it is.
You were talking about the player I was looking at.
No, you wasn't looking at no.
Coincidence.
There's no coincidences in life. That's some like life lesson for you folks out there.
Yeah, listen to the guru, guys. So what are you looking at over here?
They have no running backs left. That's why you got to get them early.
That's why I picked up 5 early. That way I can rotate them.
I got 5 too.
Maybe trade 2 of them in a package deal for a wide receiver.
Trade
something.
with you because you always try to make lopsided trades.
I made like 3 trades last year that was bomb.
I kind of like Deshaun Hamilton. McCole Hardman, 4.33.
No Miami players have been taken.
Damn. I'm going Deshaun Hamilton here.
Okay.
Really just trying to swing for the fences here. And I'll probably come back and pick.
Now, see, a name that pops off to me is Paul Richardson of Redskins. I wish you would have stayed with Seattle because he was really starting to break out. But Jamison Crowder left. He comes in. Quarterback situation's up for grabs, but at the bottom of the barrel, this guy wouldn't be like maybe a diamond in a rough kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm going to take my sleeper here, McCole Hardman.
So he's sticking out to me right now, especially with the players still up. You got Humphreys from Tennessee. He's going to be a slot player, but Mariota doesn't really give you too many points for wide receivers. So we're going to go ahead and go with Richardson here. I mean,
remember the name McCole Hardman.
You still have all Miami. No, I think Miami got taken just because of auto picks. But Miami was just on the board for all the receivers because you don't know what's going on over there. But you do have Fitzmagic down there, so
yeah, you go ahead.
In the beginning of the year, you might get a little something. But we all know the magic ends after a while. So
yeah, just like Harry Potter got kind of bad after the 3rd movie.
We're gonna take Paul Richardson and leave Harry Potter out of this.
Yeah. So.
And that's it for my bench. All I have left is a kicker. When it comes back to me, I think JJ has a pick before me, so he'll probably take Tucker. I'll take Will Lutz.
Well, that might come off with some of these guys.
Yeah, let's see.
The most automatic kickers in the game is Justin Tucker and Will Lutz.
I have about 9 picks left, and then all the kickers are queued up for them, so I probably might wind up with Adam Vinatieri or Crosby from.
How old is he? 50?
I thought he was like 72.
Yeah.
Now they do have some kickers that are week to week, like home kickers. Like Ryan Suckup from Tennessee is a very great home kicker. I picked him up all the time. He would flop from the number 3 overall down to 8, back
Oh,
to number
Lutz
4,
and Tucker.
back to 10. Whenever he's at home, he's on
I
target.
like getting kickers that play in the dome. You got to be kind of wary about kickers that play up north in the snow.
Yeah.
Because that will.
Denver's kicker, though, is always good to have.
And right after I say don't pick kickers that play in the snow, he brings up Denver kicker.
Mile High Stadium, the ball travels further and everything.
Yeah. when you
Everybody
got a foot
knows
of
this.
Snow,
Everybody knows that. You could drop him after once it snows. But I'm saying when it's a great sunny weather.
I like Robbie Gould. Speaking of summer weather, San Fran never rains in Southern California. And he really pulls off that bald head. So.
It's a kicker, man. Pick a kicker.
Get the old guy.
I knew you were going to do it. I knew you.
You're on the clock, not me.
Oh, that's me?
Yeah.
I thought
My
you were.
last name is not Smith.
Oh, I thought you were about to pick. Well, we're gonna go ahead and go with Crosby. And to end my draft, we got Carson Wentz, Connor, Josh Jacobs from Oakland.
Yeah, can you shut up real quick? Because I'm picking Robbie Gould.
Nobody cares about your fucking kicker pick.
Wow, how many curse words? Is that over under 4?
That's 3, I think. So I'm under.
We need to put like a rated R on this damn video because of Bobby.
Nah. You wanna run through your picks first?
Yeah, really, y'all make sure y'all go running back heavy at the top.
Yeah, cause once they're gone, it's nothing but
Yeah,
handcuffs and number
definitely
2s.
Get a number 1 wide receiver within your first 4 picks, but make sure you get at least 2 running backs in the first 4 picks. So I got David Johnson. I think he's a huge breakout candidate. Mike Evans. Bruce Arians is going to turn Jameis Winston around. I really think he is. And Mike Evans is one of the most talented wide receivers. Leonard Fournette, he's my guy. I think is going to be the biggest breakout guy in the league if he could stay healthy. Aaron Jones, another guy, if he could stay healthy, I think he's a borderline running back 1. I wouldn't get Pat Mahomes. The value is too good right there. I usually like to wait, but when you can get a guy like Mahomes in the 5th round, he's a beast. Number 1 quarterback in the league. Then I went safe at wide receiver for my wide receiver 2. You can't go any safer than Jarvis Landry. He don't drop anything. One of the toughest wide receivers in the league, and he's homegrown right here in Louisiana. And Darius Geis, another guy, LSU. He's a really, really talented guy. He was kind of a crapshoot for me.
I think that was a reach for you, but
I don't think it's a reach, but if he could stay healthy.
Yeah, you picked 3 running backs in the top 4 picks, so doing that you can take a risk there.
And then another guy at value I think is Jared Cook. Get him in the 8th round, and I think he could be a top 3 tight end. And then you can kind of see the rest of my picks I filled out with Larry Fitz, another consistent wide receiver, and a guy like Ronald Jones. I think he's gonna take the running back spot in Tampa Bay. So you could and another McCole Hardman. Remember that name, 4-3-3 guy. You're gonna put on the other side of a 4-2-8 guy in Tyreek Hill and Andy Reid. He knows how to use them weapons.
Yeah. And like Josh said, you go running back heavy in the top. I took 2 running backs in my 4 picks with Connor and Josh Jacobs at number 2 and 4. My first round pick.
Jacobs.
Yeah, my first round pick was Hopkins. The top running backs went off the board, and I'm a big Hopkins fan, so.
I really would have tried to go get Deshaun Watson with him. Imagine that connection.
Yeah, but a lot of auto
You
picks
would have
took
had to
him.
get him
Yeah.
around probably round 4.
Right when you took
Yeah.
probably when you took Mahomes is when everybody started with it took
Yeah,
quarterbacks
yeah.
and
Around round 5.
yeah. So I had Hopkins, went and got Ertz 3rd round. If you can, go steal you a great tight end because that's huge points. If you gotta flop tight ends or go pick one up every now and then on a week, that's a headache and that's almost 2 to 4 points.
Yeah, the tight end position is not
It
deep at
is
all.
not deep. So go steal you a tight end in the early rounds. And you can always pick up more running backs, more receivers. Tight end is very scarce.
I just want to say this. If you do wait, I do have a sleeper. The tight end Andrews for Baltimore, Lamar Jackson doesn't like to throw to receivers. They run a lot of
2
read
tight ends
option and
set.
stuff. But they saying that this guy Andrews is his favorite target. And a guy that really doesn't have much accuracy and throwing ability, he's going to lean on that tight end. So if you do wait until the very end of the draft, that's a guy you can look at. But I do not advise waiting.
No. But here we go. Hopkins, Connor, Ertz, Jacobs. Then we went Tyler Lockett, number one guy, Seattle. Russell Wilson's guy now. I mean, you got DK Metcalf across.
He's gonna be
from-
on the other side.
Yeah, he's going to be on the other side, and he's going to draw attention, but Tyler Lockett's been in the system, so he knows.
Yeah, but
Then
Metcalf is definitely a guy
Yeah.
that could break out.
Breakout. That's a
Dude
good
is
guy to go get on your
massive.
bench. Go get him on your
Massive.
bench if you can.
Yeah,
Winning
that's a
got,
guy around like round
what, 7, 8?
9. I'd say round 9 that you can kind of take a chance on. Maybe round 10.
Winning got Cohen, Tariq Cohen, little screwdriver he is. He returns punts, so anytime he houses one,
wannabe.
yeah, anytime he houses one, that's points to you. So him catching it out the backfield, running it, and returning punts gives me a lot of options at flex to get points from him. Went back to back with Lamar Miller at running back. Went running back heavy because they started to get scarce, like I said, and I didn't want to take a chance of losing out on anybody, so I went Lamar Miller. Took a couple chances on my next two receivers at Cortland Sutton and MVS. I feel like they're guys to prove, but have gotten a lot of attention the past couple years from Aaron Rodgers and whoever's been quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I think they're high on Sutton at the Denver Broncos because they traded away Thomas to put him in at number 2 and started throwing him a lot of deep passes. After that, Latavius Murray, New Orleans running back, right there with a Kamara taking Ingram's spot. Ingram was a great running back too for most games. I think Murray is a very, very great upgrade from Ingram over there. And Sean Payton does do 2 running back system. After that, I went after my quarterback, Carson Wentz. Philly's got a great offense. I mean, he's mobile too. You saw he avoids sacks like crazy and everything. He can run for the touchdown too. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think Philadelphia Eagles are better with Wentz at quarterback than Nick Foles?
See, I said this, and everybody argued with me. I said trade to Carson Wentz. Why give him a bigger contract?
You could have got a lot of value.
You could have got him a lot of value, a lot of trade picks. Paid Nick Foles less than what you would have traded Carson Wentz, and Nick Foles runs that offense.
The Eagles front office just forgot that this dude won them a Super Bowl.
And then
it's really head scratching to me.
Then he started off the season with them and was doing just fine.
Yeah.
I forget whether they were like 3-1 when he came back or
Yeah.
he had a winning record. He was doing just fine. They went 9-7 overall.
Better talent wise, but he's always injured. The dude keeps getting injured, and Nick Foles, he never gets injured. He's always out there, and he's really accurate.
I understand that's your number 1 pick, and it may look stupid trading him away or giving him away, but your quarterback is injury prone is not the position you want injury prone. And you have a Super Bowl quarterback that went MVP, won you the whole thing, started the next season for you. Everybody believed in Nick Foles. Your players loved him.
Then they kind of say Nick Foles is a better locker room guy too.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. The
Carson
players,
Wentz,
the
is
players,
not a really good locker room guy.
They said once Carson Wentz went down, they all looked to Nick Foles and he took it and they were riding his coattails. Yeah. Go back and look at the interviews. They love Nick Foles. So I would have definitely kept Nick Foles and got a boatload of picks or players for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And not have to pay him that multi-million-dollar contract that you would have had to pay.
Pans out for the Eagles.
But just like we said, he's kind of injury prone. So I went 3 picks behind him and got Jared Goff. Why not? He Rams, great offense. You saw what the Chiefs and their offense went
I just
head
feel
to
like
head.
Goff is a system quarterback.
He is. So I feel like on a defensive team that's a low grade on fantasy that allows a lot.
Plays really good defenses. He kind of puts up mediocre numbers.
Yeah.
But I guess you got 2 quarterbacks and you can kind of pick, which quarterback has the best. The best.
And then I just filled in the roster from there with
team that they're
players.
Going up
Yeah. No sleepers on mine.
Another
really.
thing I just want to throw out there, a lot of people really care about the bye weeks. I really don't. Even though, like, my team actually, the bye weeks actually landed pretty good. I don't look at bye weeks at all. If it does somehow happen to most of your stars all have the same bye week, look, you get all your byes over in 1 week.
And just take that L.
Just make sure your bench has different bye weeks. But if all your stars got the same bye week, look, you get all your bye weeks over in 1 week, and then you can start them the rest of the year. All your best guys. So
yeah, if you're gonna draft, according to bye weeks, you're gonna have a a less talented team, really,
Yeah.
because you're gonna be passing up
Yeah,
like
to me, that's dumb.
you're gonna say pass up a Tariq Hill because he has the
Because-
same bye week as your running back,
Yeah.
and go get I mean, not down on anybody, but let's say a Jarvis Landry, who's got a different bye week. We all know Tariq Hill is the number one guy in putting up 20 points sometimes compared to Jarvis, who puts up between 8 to 12 and is a
Rule
flex.
number one: draft by value, not by position, not by bye weeks, not by anything.
And if you
Draft by value.
you draft by the best value, if all your players come up to the bye week, you have the best value players. You'll probably have a winning record, and that loss
Yeah.
won't affect
And
you.
then you gotta also think. This is only step one. Step one is your draft. Then it's waivers.
Yes.
I mean, with the injuries that's probably going to take place, let's hope in your case it doesn't.
Yeah,
But if it
that's
does,
always a factor.
the team you finish with is probably going to look drastically different than the team you end with. The team you begin with is going to look way different than the team you end with. Trust me, it will. So be smart with your waivers. Keep an eye on them guys that are breaking out during the season. Try to snatch some up. And if you have a good draft, if you have pretty good waivers during the season, your team is gonna be right there in the mix for the championship.
Yeah, don't go waste your waiver though and drop a good player just because you're getting tired of your player having a bad week and this guy's having a couple good weeks here and there.
They call that fear of missing out.
Don't do
Be
that.
smart.
Like you've been starting this guy. He's a known player. You know he's gonna get looks. Don't take that chance and go get a bench player.
Like, make sure that guy has a track record. Don't just go drop a guy and pick up a guy just because he has one breakout game. Like, it might just be one game. Make sure he at least puts together a string of good games before you make a move like that. Or if a guy goes down, of course, you go snatch him. You know.
Yeah, perfect example last year was the Green Bay Packers with Allison and MVS. One of them started to break out. You picked him up, then MVS started to break out, so you picked him up, and then they both dropped off.
Yeah.
So, like I said, don't get happy.
Well, I'd say get happy.
Get happy games.
Yeah. All right, but that concludes our draft. I think both our teams would probably be in the mix, especially like we said, if we worked them waiver wires good.
Yeah.
But we just kind of wanted to show y'all about like where these players would be going. You know, to show y'all where you do your research where these guys are going. And to give y'all a little insight into each player.
Yeah, maybe some diamond in the roughs that y'all didn't know about, or maybe some strategy running back heavy.
Said, Tyreek Cohen. I really like their rookie running back, and I'm drawing a blank. I think it's Montgomery. I'm pretty sure it's Montgomery, and he had a really good week 1 of preseason, and he was really good in college, and I think he could take over that spot. Of course, Cohen's still going to be good. He's their little scat back. But Montgomery, since we were talking about little diamonds in the rough, you take a chance on him, and he could pay off for you. So that's going to wrap it up.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for waiting this long for another podcast. This is a fantasy football podcast. More to come.
Yeah, we're going to be giving y'all another podcast pretty soon. I don't know if y'all are betting people, but we are, and we're going to be giving y'all some pretty good preseason bets and kind of talking about where these teams are going to end up.
Some over-unders, who's going to win
Super Bowl favorites, who's going to win the championship,
who's going to win the NFC, the AFC, Souths, and all that, over-under on points.
So that'll be coming to y'all pretty soon, but yeah.
There's a lot of ways to bet on that, but we're excited. But anyways, thank you. Subscribe.
Football's back. Yeah. And fantasy football is back, so...
Subscribe, like, share, comment, anything. We'll give you a shout out. Thank you once again.
Let us know what y'all think.
Crescent City Connection podcast
Have a
out.
good one.
We did that just by ourselves.